Heartbreak's a lie. The pain is real. What you're experiencing is real, but the message of it is a lie. Something outside caused something inside to break. And today we're going to solve that. I want you to think, if you were out walking around in the desert and a snake slithers up and it bites you, and as the poison is running through your veins and you're dying, you decide to chase the snake down to try to see if you can pick it up and ask it why it bit you. The problem with that is that's what a lot of us do. We're chasing down this snake with the idea that it was this teddy bear. It's not. It's a snake that just bit us and now we're dying from it. And we want to go ask it why it bit us. So if you're dying from poison right now, I want you to know that it's time to leave the snake alone and come over to the hospital. Get the cure. Get the antidote. The problem is that I think in the modern church we have a relatability issue. And so I want you to know that if you have been abused, if you have struggled with substance abuse, if you have been to prison, oh wait, it sounds like I'm describing myself. I understand where you're coming from. Pain can hit a little bit different when you have a past, when you have trauma, when you have a history of unhealthy relationships. And I don't know if you're in one now or if you're in a healthy one, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes pain just hits a little different. And I feel like it's really hard to be relatable, to believe that people can resonate with our pain. And so I want you to know that I've been where you're at, and I can come from a place of where you're coming from. I understand when pain hits back to a childhood wound. I understand when you have crossed your own morals and boundaries out of desperation trying to get your needs met. And so I think the signal to noise ratio out there right now is a little mixed. I think that a lot of people that have a good message have too much to lose to be transparent enough about why they're relatable. And I want you to know that I'm not a pastor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a theologian, and I have no paycheck to lose over this. I'm just a person who's been through pain, who's walked this out with Christ, and this is my truth. These are the things I can testify to, that I've read the Bible, I've walked this out, and it worked. So what I really want to dive into today, if we're going to solve the issue of heartbreak, I feel like this is the number one issue when you are in phase one of heartbreak, the pedestal effect. And this may be the very reason that God removed that person from your life to begin with. He says he's a jealous God and that we should have no other gods before him. It's really easy when you have a past, when you have trauma. If you find somebody that you think is going to meet your needs, where you are seen, supported, and heard, it's going to be really easy to elevate that person to a pedestal. When we elevate people to a pedestal, the potential for them to inflict pain on us is tremendous because they're people. And so I want to break down the pedestal effect. The person who broke your heart is not the nice and kind and sweet and gentle and caring and selfless person that you were in love with. They're the person who knew that this was going to hurt you. They intentionally chose to do it anyways out of selfishness. That's reality. And as painful as that reality is, it's still the truth. And so there's going to be a period where you're going to need to take time to grieve the death of that person that you loved because they're not real. And then the other half of that grief is the death of the hopes and the plans and the future that you had envisioned. This is something that's never even happened yet, but you're grieving the loss because it's something you hoped for. And that's totally normal and valid. And you need to take time to sit in that and grieve. And as you're going through the grieving, when you're having those thoughts and feelings, and as you're romanticizing and fantasizing about who that person was, I want you to start in the back of your mind as you're sitting in your feelings to remind yourself that that's not who they were. And it's going to be a process. So take the time you need and pray about it. God, give me the eyes to see them as you see them. And over time, this is going to create a shift. It's going to create the pathway to healing is going to start to begin. James, the brother of Jesus, said that faith without works is dead. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that we have to earn healing? Does that mean we have to earn God's grace? Absolutely not. But what it means is that we have to have faith. That means that we have to hope. We have to have the hope that this is going to work. And then we have to put in the effort, right? We have to show up. We have to ask God, God, today help me see that person as you see them. God, help me to remove that person from the pedestal that I held them on and elevate you back to the position you belong in. Let you be God and them be people. And over time, that the works is just showing up and praying. It's not really a tall task for us. If we could just show up and just pray and just ask God and just trust that in His time, not ours, but in His time, He's going to show up and start to change your heart. You're going to start to have a shift. You're going to start to see the other person as a human being that has toxic behaviors, that has dysfunction, that has issues, attachment style problems. You're going to start to see them as a human being and not as this savior that we made them out to be. Because when we put all of our hopes and our dreams and our needs into the emotional basket, all of our emotional eggs into the one basket that they were going to carry around, and then they dropped it, we're in a really bad place. And that kind of pain can hit deep, and it takes time for that to heal. So what I want us to think about is the prayer element here. If we can show up daily and say, God, give me eyes to see them as you see them. God, give me a heart that sees them the way that you see them. And help me to remove them from the pedestal and let go of the fantasy. And when you're feeling your feelings, you need to grieve the loss because that person is dead. That person died. The person you were in love with, the person you were in that relationship with, they are gone. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle. So you need to grieve that loss. And when you're in that grief, you're in that place of hopelessness, of helplessness, and of pain and of suffering. I want you to just take that and give it to God through prayer. God, this is my broken heart. Take this and heal this in your time. And trust that God's going to show up in His time. I hope this video helps. If it does, click the like button. That helps me out a lot. And if you got something you'd like me to talk about, post it in the comments because I'd be curious to see what you guys would like me to talk about next. Have a blessed day.